I
So,
think of violence,
I think violence
so many
is
different
when
ways. There's
one
not-
person tries to hit another person.
Catcalling.
so when I think of violence,
Violence isn't
to me,
necessarily
violence
physical.
is
Violence
an
is
act of-
anything that's just
is an act of
bringing
aggression.
down someone in any
And
type
when
of
I
way,
think of
physical or
violence,
mental.
negating any
mentally.
positive aspects that a female might have on society. And
so when I think
My
of
mother.
violence,
So my mother, when
To me,
she
violence
was attending
means
high school,
when one
her student,
person
her teacher
decides
told her
to
that
intentionally
it
harm
would be
another
impossible for
person or
her
another.
to go to a university.
violence, so when
I think of someone hurting another person, whether it's verbally or physically. I think violence is not the right way to solve any issues.
This girl I knew who lived in India, her aunt had acid thrown on her by her husband.
Yes. So I founded GEMS in 1998. I came to the States in 1997. I was 22 years old, and I had been in the commercial sex industry as a teenager in Germany. Actually, I'm originally from England, and I ended up meeting a pimp in Germany and getting pulled into the sex industry. And so I got out when I was 19. And 3 years later, I was in the States and working as a missionary, working with adult women coming out of sex industry. It was a really small organization. There was 2 other staff. And within the first couple of weeks, I began to meet very young girls on the streets, 12, 13, 14 years old.
Rachel Lloyd created GEMS. One of the things that she immediately saw was that girls of color were disproportionately represented in the commercial sex industry. And the impetus for her to move forward was the fact that she wanted to provide services that would meet the needs to the best of our abilities. And GEMS is that conduit that provides those needs.
And you know, I felt like I had a very strong connection with the younger people that I was meeting. Also the 45-year-old women were like, "You're a child," because I was 22, and they needed to see that it was possible to get out.
So we get our members a variety of ways. There's no like cookie cutter shape to how people end up at GEMS. But a lot of our girls are referred through other agencies or through the court system, the Alternatives to Incarceration Program, which is largely a part of the Safe Harbor Act, now that people have to be referred for services. And now we're drop-in centers, so once folks come in, you know, they meet the receptionist, and our receptionist is always a survivor. So it's like the first person they see.
The demographics are very important, and you know, when you look at the commercial sexual exploitation of our very young girls, many people have this idea that it's like the movie Taken, you know, that it's a child that is thrown in the back of a seat and that is not happening within the United States of America. It is in the United States of America.
In 2015, Sanctuary for Families served 350 victims of sex and labor trafficking in New York City. We work with victims of gender-based violence as an organization, and most specifically my work is around serving victims of human trafficking.
Sanctuary for Families is the largest nonprofit in New York State dedicating to helping victims and survivors of gender-based violence. Some of our clients have come to us because they fear being punished by their families or communities for opposing FGM. Many other of our clients are mothers and fathers who want to protect their daughters from this harmful practice.
You know, I would say if you have been forced to engage in prostitution, if you've been forced to have sex for money or some other good that you did not want to, understand that is not legal, that was against your will, that you are allowed to seek help, that you have rights in New York, you have rights in the United States, even if you don't have any papers to be here.
To end violence, I think it's possible if girls and men and boys are educated and about this violence. And I'm lucky, I would say, because I've had an education that's allowed me to sort of be aware of violence against girls in particular.
When people are more educated and more aware of what's going on.
Educating young boys, just by educating people.
To end violence overall, first you have to educate. You have to educate people that violence is bad, extremism is bad, and specifically for women, you have to say that women, they're equal. We are all equal, and women should not be treated the way they are in some places in the world.